Hey, and welcome back. We are warm and snuggly today because fall has finally hit, and so it's a perfect day to talk about a great warming oil, marjoram. And this is probably the oil that all y'all love and just didn't even know it. So we'll tell you why this is going to be your new favorite oil.
Yeah.
So
marjoram is an herb. It's in the mint family. They grow and harvest this in Egypt for the essential oil.
Mm-hmm.
And I first learned about marjoram actually from my mother. So when I was in college, I needed some recipes to go to college with.
Yeah.
So I could, survive.
Right.
And one of the things I used to love to make was my mom's tuna fish salad recipe. And it had marjoram in it, the dried herb. And so that was like up there in my shelf in my college kitchen, and that was the only thing I used it for. But, lo and behold.
Maybe the only thing that anyways. And actually tuna salad is a symbol of our marriage because we both had very different tuna salad recipes. His was bone dry, sticking in your throat, and mine was very moist. And so that's a blending of our marriage, is represented by how our tuna salad recipe is now a blending, but marjoram has always been a staple of that. So obviously it's really great for cooking and many other uses. But I guess tell us a little bit about the chemistry.
Yeah, so chemistry is very complex. A lot of these herbs and spices tend to be very complex oils. But what we're looking at with marjoram is a monoterpene and an alcohol chemistry predominantly.
Okay.
So you're going to get calming effects, soothing effects from all the monoterpenes, but then you're also going to get immune support and circulation support from the alcohols, and there are some phenols in there as well. So phenols, just think more aggressive alcohols.
Yeah.
So in some ways, this is actually a really similar oil to oregano and thyme in terms of immune support.
Yes.
But it's much lower in the phenol content and higher in the alcohol content, and so it's going to be milder.
Yeah.
And it's actually so mild that for adults you can use this neat on the skin, or for children, and we'll get into the applications, but for children you can dilute it and use that. Whereas some like thyme, oregano, they're kind of a little iffy. Those can be a little spicy and tingly on the skin.
Yeah.
So you have to heavily dilute.
I mean, basically, as well as oregano and thyme are super powerful, and so ones we love using, but I don't like drinking them because they taste awful, unless, like, my singer friend will gargle with oregano. So marjoram will be great for kind of meeting those needs, still powerful, but a lot nicer on the skin. And it even says that you can use this neat on the skin as well. So this is definitely a great one if you're thinking immune support and all that, but especially for little ones, for something that's just too hot, or again, we always say if you get an oil that's too warm, add more carrier oil, but marjoram would be a really wonderful one to try because it's much more gentle, but still powerful.
And these, really the calming effects of this oil and also the immune support are kind of like the main two reasons. So there's kind of like two trains of thought on why you would want to grab marjoram, and we'll get into that, with the applications. But on the chemistry side, you've got terpenine, saponine, micrine. These are monoterpenes found in a lot of things. As you kind of just skim through, you see these constituents pop up over and over and over, and they're just phenomenal calming monoterpene molecules. So that's one school in there. And then, like I said, you got the alcohols, and then you also have a key phenol for immune support, which is terpenin 4-ol, and that's kind of why this oil is like beautiful, in that it's kind of got these calming properties, but these immune supporting properties and circulation supporting properties as well.
So a really good use of marjoram is when we talked in the magnolia video about it. Get your magnolia touch, and you might have to use a little bit of it, but pop the top and add some copaiba to it, and it's powerful for calming, but great for sleep. So we're actually going to add some marjoram to that combo. So you've got the magnolia touch, which is already pre-diluted, add some copaiba, add some marjoram, and that will be a lovely one to help calm your kids down, like if they're fussy and not ready to go down for a nap, or just calming down to go to sleep. And then again, you're getting the immune boosting benefits as well.
So because it's milder, and because we have these great chemistries, It's in a plethora of blends. Man, I can't even hold them all. And this is why we said you love this oil, but don't even know it, because if you're using any of these blends,
you're getting the benefits of marjoram. So for calming, it's already in your Serenity, which is great for calming.
You're dropping them. See, there's so many.
It's also in Peace. Again, great for calming, peace, calming anxious feelings, mood support. Marjoram was pretty huge, and all the things we're seeing, huge for neurological support. So calming for that. It's in Align. Same thing, centering blend, just focusing everything down. But marjoram is also kind of energizing. We talk so much about this. Like, I know you guys are getting maybe a little bit tired hearing, but it's calming but energizing at the same time. So in the yoga blend, Align, which is the centering blend.
Yeah, so another great property of marjoram, and there have been some studies on this, is that it helps inhibit the enzymatic action that breaks down acetylcholine. Now, acetylcholine is a chemical that's a neurotransmitter. It's used by your brains, and it's used in the pathways and mechanisms that helps your brain communicate with your muscles. So think about, like, maybe for you who are old enough to know, like, that cable connection that, you know, like, or the rabbit ears when kind of the signal goes away and the screen, like, flickers in and out. And now we have cable and it's no big deal, but, you know, you had to mess with the rabbit ears. Well, it's kind of the same thing with our brain. Like, it's also related to minerals and mineral depletion in the body, but the ability for these enzymes and chemicals to use and communicate and neurotransmit, like, it's all, when it starts to get deficient, or you run out, or your body breaks down one, you can kind of have these spasms, and muscle cramping, spasming, things like that. It's all related, and lo and behold, you know, marjoram can support with that. And so that's why you find it actually in a great circulation promoting blend, which is Aroma Touch. Which
I think being called the massage blend, I feel like actually underrates it a lot. Aroma Touch is a really powerful, amazing blend. And when I talk about massage, like, I don't know, I just feel like it kind of minimizes the benefits of it, because it's great for circulation. Marjoram is really great for the cardiovascular system as well, so circulation there, but calming the muscles, and again helping inhibit the enzymes which attack the acetylcholine. So, like, I'm thinking of my dad in particular, who he'll be working a lot outside and sweating, you know, kind of getting those, like, tremors, and he'll come in and drink a big glass of salt water. Or we talk a lot about, you know, magnesium and that. Well, marjoram would be a really great one to be helping for if you know, if you're going to be working hard and you tend to get those like cramps, muscle spasms.
And similarly, we know muscle cramping can cause certain kinds of headaches, and so it's in the past tense blend. So that kind of shows you the chemistry reason of why these oils are in some of these blends to support certain functions in our body.
And past tense is really cool, because we think of it for using it for, like, muscle tension, but it's also really great for emotional tension, because, you know, the two are interrelated. Like, you're freaked out emotionally, then your muscles tighten up. Or when your muscles tighten up, then you kind of get, you know, worried, freaked out, whatever. And so marjoram in particular is great for helping with both.
Yeah, so this is a really woodsy, warm, herbaceous. I mean, it's really nice. So how is this used in aromatherapy? How can it support our emotions?
Supporting our emotions. So, okay, the oil of connection. And y'all just had to laugh at how good God is, and his timing is funny. So we were talking today about trust, and we've been married 15 and a half years now, as well as that we just kind of have to keep working on communicating with one another, continuing to pour into that trust, and little things that'll kind of not quite fully break it, but, you know, that'll help drive us apart. And so we have to keep working together and keep coming together and not isolate. And y'all know. Moving on. Marjoram. Marjoram is the oil of connectedness, and for those who've had issues in the past with relationships and broken trust, who have a hard time trusting and connecting in social situations, marjoram is a great one to use for that. Or for those who kind of tend to isolate and withdraw after trust is broken. I was just listening to this great thing on the anatomy of trust. So go look that up. She's got Brene Brown, I think is the name, and she's got 7 steps. Braving is her acronym, but the anatomy of trust. And when you realize why trust is broken, then you can address it and begin to heal that and move past it so that the relationship can heal. And so marjoram is going to be a really great one to help acknowledge where trust is broken, acknowledge where you feel hurt and damaged. That way you can better communicate it to somebody else and help repair and heal that relationship. And overcoming all this fear of rejection, self-sabotage, for the recluses in your life.
Yeah.
Diffuse some marjoram. Okay.
There you go.
So yes, I'm excited about this oil. Cooking.
Yes.
Obviously
savory
cooking.
cooking.
Savory cooking. It's recommending that you can even drink marjoram in water, like you would. You know, I would probably not drink. I wasn't that wild about it, so I would use it as needed, like basil. But again, if you're looking to support your neurological function or support your cardiovascular function, you could easily put it in a drop of water and drink it. And it wasn't bad. It was kind of nice and warm. Try a tea with it, a calming tea with bergamot. But then definitely any savory application where you would naturally be using these oils anyway. So if you're seeing thyme and oregano in a recipe, again, those are very warm and very intense, and so marjoram would be an option for that. Use it in your soups and stews, obviously tuna salad. You could even try it in your salad dressing too.
Yeah, it would be a really good one in any kind of dressing or salad.
Yeah.
And poultry, you know. So if you were making like a sauce for some chicken or something.
And it is, of the herbs, it is like medium in intensity. So I would still, you know, either go with the toothpick method where you just get a partial drop, like just kind of dip a toothpick and then swirl it in your oil, or do my usual trick where I pour 1 drop into a little bit of oil on the side and then pour that into the recipe at the end of cooking.
Yeah. So the application I think I'm most excited about is, I think I mentioned before, is gotten in the habit of trying to like spray our sheets with a mist of oils and water before we go to bed. And marjoram would just fit right in there, you know, whether you use lavender, you know, add marjoram to it, ylang-ylang, all great oils to help promote sleep, recovery, calming. So yeah, there's even a little bit of linalool in marjoram. So.
Yeah. And for the blending that, it is in your middle notes, or in your middle section, so it goes really well with a bunch of other herbs. Create yourself an herb blend, or you can add in like a Siberian fir. Lavender, marjoram and lavender is a great combo there.
Yeah, and we mentioned already like muscle cramping for the blend, but you could just of course have used this essential oil straight as a massage, you know, oil.
Yeah.
So if you got any kind of muscle discomfort, that's a good one to try. You know, especially if it's a cramping type of discomfort. Or
especially if something like if you're wanting to avoid some of the warm oils, like Felicity doesn't like the peppermint that's part of the aroma touch technique, so you could try marjoram instead.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, we already mentioned kind of the immune support that, you know, oregano and thyme are phenomenal. You know, they're powerhouses, but if you got anyone who's just a little too sensitive to those, consider going for marjoram. It's a great substitute. And
I think we didn't say it specifically, we've kind of mentioned, but obviously you can use it all the way. So topically, aromatically, internally. Okay, neat if you need, but obviously diluting with coconut oil helps it diffuse across the skin. But a really good one to try adding to your things for littles, for fussy littles. So add a drop to your calming roller bottle for your wee little ones.
Yeah.
What else?
That's it.
Okay, so we had a serious discussion on which oil to go to next, because it should be Melaleuca, except the doTERRA has now renamed theirs to tea tree, which is what most of the world does. So you guys are going to have to wait for Melaleuca because it's now being moved to the teas. But the good news is that next we're going to talk about Melissa, which is an amazing oil that a lot of people, I had no idea what it was, and everybody's like, why is it so expensive? Well, we're going to tell you. So
next time.
Melissa. Thanks.
Bye, y'all.